Hey y'all, it's Taylor from tattooedteacherplans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today is going to be my fall favorites, and I have some really fun things. I got a lot of really good feedback from you guys on my summer favorites, which I will link down below if you want to check that one out. I love all of those things still, but I'm happy to add some more to my little favorites list here. So I've got everything in categories, and we're going to start with books. So I did really well over the summer about reading lots of different books, and now that school is back and I'm stressed to the max, I've had a little less time, but I'm incorporating reading into my PM routine and it's working out really well. I've read quite a few books, but these are definitely some standouts. I'm reading one right now that I think would make the list, but I haven't finished it yet, so I didn't want to add it in here, but it might make my winter favorites. Okay, so the first book is this one here. This is by Kevin Wilson. It's called Nothing to See Here, and I loved this book so much. It's a dark comedy, and I don't even know how to really explain it because it's weird. It's definitely a strange concept. So basically, this woman has an old friend from high school, and she gets word from her friend that she wants to hire her to be the nanny to her stepchildren. And these little kids who are 10 spontaneously combust from time to time, like when they get mad or just whenever when their emotions are out of control. So she takes the job, and there are moments where I was like laughing out loud, and then there were moments where I was crying because this book had it all. It was so touching, and the end of it was just perfect. And I really loved this book. I highly recommend this. This is actually a borrowed copy from my friend. I bought her the Book of the Month Club, which you can see up here in the corner. And she said it was great. So she let me borrow it, and it was really good. And it makes me want to try Book of the Month. If you have tried it, let me know because I'm curious, because she liked every book she got. So I think maybe I would too. And it could be a little Christmas present to myself, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, highly recommend this book. It's so good. Okay, the next book is actually a series of 3. This is the first one, and I finished the second one, and I'm working on the third. This is the March series by John Lewis, along with Andrew Aiden and Nate Powell. I think Nate Powell is the illustrator, maybe? Yes. Okay, so Nate Powell is the illustrator, and then the co-writer is Andrew Aiden. Anyway, the series is a graphic novel based on John Lewis's life. So if you don't know who John Lewis is, he passed away recently. He was a congressman and also a civil rights leader throughout the 60s, 50s through the 80s, his entire life, you could say. But this was fascinating because as a history teacher, I haven't taught American history since my first year of teaching, which was 14 years ago. So I'm not totally in tune with all of American history, and I'm rusty on a lot of it, but I do think the civil rights movement is fascinating and I want to learn more about it. So this was a way to kind of foray into that. Also, I really like graphic novels, and I really loved this series. The artwork is excellent, and the story is really well done, and I love the way they blend together. I've read some other kind of adult graphic novels, such as the Marvel series of all the Jane Austen books that they did, which I do pick up again from time to time, but I'm really kind of interested in looking at some more graphic novels. I'm not really interested in like superheroes or anything like that. I want like novels, actual novels. So if you have some recommendations, definitely leave those down below. But I do for sure recommend this series because it was and is amazing. So I have 3 TV shows / movies that I wanted to share with you this time. So the first one is The Vow. It's on HBO. It was a 9-episode series on the NXIVM cult. It was pretty fascinating. There were times where it was slow, I will give it that, but the whole story, I didn't know all the details, and it was just way deeper than I thought it was. And it was really fascinating, and I enjoyed that a lot. The second one is the part 2 of the Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. that show's really, really well done. I love the original. I watched it as a kid. It creeped me out. The new series is like leveled up and it's so good. I do have to skip the theme music at the beginning because it's really creepy. But this set of stories was even more fascinating than the first round. And I hope that they find some closure on some of these. I know it's called Unsolved Mysteries for a reason, but the show is really, really well done. And I definitely recommend it if you're into kind of true crime and kind of unsolved mysteries. And the last show is kind of a weird one. It's called Utopia. It is on Amazon Prime, and this came as a recommendation from my friend Amber. We share an office together, so we talk a lot. And she recommended this probably a month ago to me, and I just got around to watching it recently. It was really interesting. It's very hard to explain the plot. It took me like 15 minutes to explain it to someone the other day. But the gist of it is this group of people is drawn together and they are trying to take down someone, well, a group of people who are trying to release a bioterrorist vaccine or a virus onto the world, and then they want to create the vaccine for it and like just make a bunch of money off of it. But it's so much more than that. It is really, really interesting. I will say it is really violent and graphic, but that doesn't bother me so much. I don't know why. I'm just, my lifetime of true crime watching and listening is kind of made me immune to some of that, but it's really good. And if you like a kind of a good mystery show and just kind of a fun show, it's definitely got some really dark moments, but it's also just like really fast paced and kind of fun. And they are doing a second season of it. Okay, next up is some YouTube favorites. So I have two, and these are people that I've been watching for literally years, but I just love both of them so much, and they're both really funny and entertaining and really kind of lighthearted, but they have a lot of heart to them, if that makes sense. So the first one is Bailey Sarian. She does one of my favorite series on YouTube. I think it's like Murder Makeup Mondays or something like that. But she does her makeup along with telling a story, and she's the really good storyteller. So there's a lot of people that do those types of videos on YouTube, but she does it the best of everyone that I've seen. She just is really good at it, and her makeup looks are always kind of fun too. So you get kind of both a makeup tutorial and a really funny story. I mean, it's a true crime story, but her commentary on everything makes it fun. The other one is Jamie French, and if you're not watching her, oh my gosh. If you need a laugh, go watch Jamie French. She started a new series, which is hilarious. Like, she's had her viral videos in the past, but her new series is called Movies and Makeup, I think, where she watches a bad movie, usually from the 80s or 90s, and she does commentary on it. And then she also does like green screen stuff where she puts herself into scenes to like make fun of them. It's hysterical, and she's so funny. Her 90s makeup tutorial is still so incredibly funny to me, and her tiny hands tutorial, so much. Definitely check her out if you haven't already, because she is hilarious. Okay, I don't have a lot of new music in my life right now. There is a lull because of COVID-19. So, I mean, maybe that's why, or I just haven't been branching out that much. But there are two stations on Spotify that I have been really digging lately. And the first one is Blues and Roots Rock. I've been listening to this one off and on for like a year or two, and they update it every once in a while. So it's not the same songs all the time, but it's just really like gritty blues and roots rock, obviously. But it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. Just listen to it if you like that kind of music. It's got like really good beats, and the songs are like really like deep and emotional, but like in a gritty way. So I just love that type of music, and I have just keep going back to that channel over and over again. The other one on Spotify is kind of the total opposite of Roots and Rock, or Blues and Roots Rock, which is the Autumn Acoustic playlist. That one's really good. If you want something a little bit more soothing and soft, I'll listen to that in my office at work often because it's just kind of like in the background and nice and just really, really good songs too. Like I like all of the artists on that playlist. So if you want something a little bit lighter, a little bit calmer, that one is definitely a great one. So I have 4 things to show you in my planning category. That one's always going to have something in it. So first up, it's definitely my 2021 mäksēlife planner. I love the new changes to this planner. I will have my review down in the description for you if you want to check it out. This planner, I'm so excited to dig into this. So I will be simplifying my planner stack in 2021. And this guy's going to play a major role. Not only am I going to be doing my goal planning in here as usual, but I'm going to be doing my pre-planning and my memory planner notes and some content planning in here too. So I'm going to be using every page of this thing next year and I'm really excited. And I love this cover. This is my favorite of the 4. I also have the flower one and I did order the companion notebooks to give a set away and the another cover, the stripe one, the rainbow stripe one, because I wanted to try it out. But I just love this and I can't wait to use it. It's so good. And the paper is even nicer than it was before, so even better. So one of the things that I've been trying to do more and be more intentional about is journaling. And I had just always had a hard time quieting my mind to journal or do any kind of quiet time activity. But this little guy is a fun way to keep me journaling. And so this has really cute prompts in it that are actually really deep when you really think about it. So this one is the month of fuck yes, and you have to write 30 things that you're going to do during the month. And I love all of these. And they're all really short, which I think is key for me because I just can't sit and journal for too long. But this one is like about what are some ways you can make the world better. And then this one, I like the short ones too, like this, that are like talking about, you know, what kind of stones are you carrying? I love this. And the artwork is really, really cute in here. It's just very colorful and there is plenty of room to write. There's even some coloring pages in here if I want to do that. But I love this. I think it's really fun. And there's another one that's like the companion to this one called Zen as Fuck, which I might try after I finish this one. But I just really like this. This is, if you're a non-journaler or you think you are, maybe try something like this. There's other ones like this that aren't profane ridden if you want to check them out on Amazon. But I love this one because it doesn't take itself too seriously. Okay, next is this notepad from Lights Planner Action. So what I'm going to kind of miss from my Plum Paper Daily was kind of a breakdown of the day, a little bit more deep. So this, it gives me that. First of all, the paper is amazing, as always, with anything from Lights Planner Action. It is so smooth and just, it's amazing. I love it. But what's really cool about this notepad is I can use it whenever I want. So especially on the weekend when I need a little more structure to my day because I have a lot more things to get done than say a weekday, this comes in super handy. So I can break down my day by time. I can do a to-do list. I can mark what day it is. I can even meal plan. So because on the weekends, less structure means more snacking. And then for another day, now this I've been using as like a continuation of my to-do list because I'll usually have more to-dos than this, but do what you want with it. It's your notepad. And then there's a little area over here where I can like sketch something out or do whatever I want in the little doc grid. So I love this and I have a backup when I run out of this one because I just think it's really handy. And last in my planning section is my little custom from Pumpkin Paper Co. So I have always wanted to get one of these, but I just didn't know the process. So I actually went this time and looked it up and figured it all out. And this is what I came up with. She is so cute. She's got her little kitty and her cute little mustard colored bag and her cute boots. Like, this is me. I love this. So you get to pick your colors and everything, but then I also kind of picked a hair color and a boot color just to kind of mix it up just a little bit. But I think this is adorable. And then from Beyond Paper Flowers, you can order stickers of your custom. So I ordered a sticker sheet of both the girl and the scene, and it's so cute. I love it. I will definitely do some more customs when they come around. Okay, to start off the beauty category, now you should know that I'm a skincare junkie and I love makeup and just anything in the beauty realm. So this is a lot. Well, it's not like a lot, but it's a more than a handful. So to start off, I have some Glossier balms. These are the balm.com, and I have been wanting these forever, and I finally ordered them, especially now that I'm not wearing any lipstick, which I'm not really a huge lipstick person to begin with, but with wearing a mask all day, every day, there's no point in wearing lipstick anymore. So I got some balms and I love these and I want to order like the whole line. So I started with the Mango balm.com, which is a tinted one. I'm wearing it right now. It's very lightly tinted, which I really love. And it smells so good, like really good. And you can smell it like inside your mask. It's weird, but it's just nice. And I really love this. And it stays on for hours. It's really thick, so you have to like kind of work it from the bottom and get it out. But I love this one. Then the other one is just a clear one. And this is the mint balm.com. And I really like this one too, especially at night, right before bed. I will put this on and I'll wake up in the morning and it's still like I put it on the night before. It's amazing. I am really loving these. So like I said, I will definitely be getting some more. So I said in my summer favorites that I was going to try the brand Naturium after I finished some of my ordinary products, and boy did I. This isn't even all of them, but these are some of my favorites, and I really like all of these. I'm kind of obsessed with everything, and I don't think my skin has ever been like this. It is amazing. And I can't wait to see what like a year from now if I continue using everything. So this is the BHA liquid exfoliant 2%, and this is salicylic acid. I do not use this every night. I only use it every once in a while, and really just when I'm starting to get a little maskne. If I see a little bump, then I will go ahead and use this all over like the bottom part of my face, wherever my mask is. And this is amazing. Now it will dry out your skin. So that's why I'm saying just use it very strategically and not like every night. I think it says you can use it every night, but I don't think so. And be sure to wear sunscreen. I am just obsessed with sunscreen, as everyone should be, but this, if you use it, you definitely need a sunscreen. And then this one is my new favorite. This is the niacinamide serum, 12% plus zinc 2. I only use this in the morning just because I use other things at night. I use a retinol in the night time. So this I use in the morning. And I think it really is helping with keeping my skin bright and more even toned. And it says that it does something for pores. I don't know if that's true, but I don't really have huge pores anyway. So this is really good. And it feels so nice to put on in the morning. And the last one that I'm going to share with you is like the newest favorite. I just got this one a couple weeks ago and it is amazing. This is the alpha albutrin essence in 1%. I was a little skeptical of essences, but I was reordering this guy, so I just decided to try this one. And this is also for skin brightening. It has 1% alpha albutrin. It feels so nice on your skin. This is a game changer in my skincare routine right now. I use this night and day, and it is incredible. And it feels really nice. It absorbs within like 30 seconds and it goes underneath my serums. I love this. It's so good. Highly recommend. And the last thing in my beauty category is this tiny little guy. This is the Verb Ghost Oil. So Verb started out, I think, as kind of a curly or textured hair company. And I have a couple other products from them that I do like, but this is the standout for me. I do want to try the Ghost Oil shampoo and conditioner maybe in the future, but this guy is incredible if you have fine hair. Hair oils just don't really work on my hair because it's so fine and it's just like baby hair. And this is so incredibly lightweight that you don't even feel it. It's amazing. So on day 3 or day 4 hair, this is amazing for bringing back some shine and keeping the frizz down, which I don't care about frizz. My hair is frizzy all the time, but for like shine, it says that this is moringa oil, I think. Anyway, this is gonna last me forever too because I've barely made a dent in it and I've been using it for 3 months. So, and I use it several times a week. This is great if you have curly hair or straight hair. I think it would be great for you too because, like I said, it's super lightweight and it's amazing. Okay, the food category, it's not really food. It's like snacks and unhealthy snacks, but there are definitely some fall favorites when it comes to snacks, so I thought I would share. All right, Brianna from Crafty Banana shared this combo, which is candy corn. I don't know if you can see this. Candy corn and peanuts. Okay, dry roasted salted peanuts. And I just keep this bowl like in my kitchen, and a couple times a day I'll just grab a couple. And the combo of these two is amazing. Now I've had other people tell me to add more other things, which I think would be great. But this simple combo of nuts with the candy corn is real good. And this is gonna last me forever because I bought like one little bag of candy corn and one thing of peanuts, and I just refill it like once a week, and it's really good. And it's just kind of very simple and delicious. This should come as no surprise because I'm kind of a freak for Reese's. I love all kinds of Reese's, especially the dark chocolate ones, but these little guys, now I've switched to the trees from the pumpkins. So it is now tree season instead of pumpkin season, but it's the same thing, really, besides a different shape. Although I do prefer the trees because I feel like they hold their shape a little better than the pumpkins, but that's just my opinion. But I love anything Reese's, but especially in the fall for some reason. I think it's just tied to like maybe Halloween memories or something. I don't know. But any kind of Reese's, especially the pumpkins and trees, I'm just like here for it. Okay, podcast time. Y'all know that I love my podcasts, and there are 3 that have really risen to the top lately, and for different reasons. So the first one is Tom Brown's Body. This is a Texas Monthly podcast, and it's by my favorite true crime writer, Skip Hollandsworth. He's amazing. If you haven't read anything by him, just look on Texas Monthly, their website. You can search for his articles. They're so incredibly well written. He just has a really clear and unique voice, and he is really observant about things that you maybe wouldn't think would matter, but they do because of the way he weaves the story. Anyway, this new podcast is incredible, and the story is really kind of close to home because the story takes place in Canadian Texas, which is about 2 hours from where I live in the Texas Panhandle. And there was a murder of a young boy. I think he was 17 or 18 at the time, named Tom Brown. And this story has been really hanging around this area since then because it is currently unsolved. And I don't know if Skip's going to figure out who killed Tom Brown, but in this part of Texas, it has been a topic of conversation for over 3 years now. And it comes up all the time. Everyone knows the story and everyone has their own theories. So it's really interesting to hear from Skip's point of view, kind of an outside perspective from this area of seeing what he sees. And I just hope that we solve the mystery of what happened to Tom, but I don't know if we ever will. Still, the podcast is super well done and it is a very fascinating story. The second podcast is Very Presidential. Now, this is a brand new podcast from the company that does Crime Junkie. And actually, the host of Crime Junkie does the reading on Very Presidential. So each episode, they cover a different president and they tell the true story of his presidency and all of the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it is really interesting to see kind of all of the secrets bubble to the surface, because no president is perfect and they all have skeletons in their closet, and hindsight is 2020, especially when it comes to history. And it's really interesting to see those stories in a new light. And like I mentioned before, American history is not my forte. I'm a world history teacher and have been for a very long time. So reading, or listening, I should say, to some stories about past presidents and, showing that they made a lot of mistakes and how it changed history and still impacts us even today. It's very interesting. Okay, the third podcast is not going to be for everybody, but I find it really interesting. It is called Behind the Bastards, and the host is really, really smart and funny, and it's very dark because each episode is about a terrible person in history. So I've recently listened to some about King Leopold of Belgium and the Satanic Panic of the 80s. This is just a really interesting podcast. Now, it is slanted left, and it's very progressive in its views, which doesn't bother me at all, but it's definitely not a non-biased podcast by any means. But the stories are really interesting. Like, King Leopold is somewhat of a footnote in world history, and learning so much more about him was really interesting. So I definitely recommend all 3 of those. Check them out. They are all excellent. So in the health category, so we got the snacks out of the way. So you can kind of see where, what direction I'm going when it comes to health stuff. But I am really just trying to maintain and keep a balance in my life right now, because stress levels are up and holidays are coming soon, and I just need to be realistic about what kind of progress I'm going to make right now. And so I have 2 things that have been really helpful recently that are kind of keeping me on the right track. We're not making huge strides here, but I am being conscious about some things and being really intentional about a couple of habits. Okay, the first thing is this little health journal from Lights Planner Action. So I already talked about her paper. It's incredible. The print quality is amazing, and I just love her little notebooks. This is the B6 size. So this lets you look at an entire week at a glance, and I like the size, although I might try to go up in size maybe just a little bit to have a little bit more room. But this little guy helps me to really kind of track my week and see where I can make improvements. It has a space for daily steps, activity, and minutes of that activity, your meal, not planning, but your meal notes and your water intake, mood, and then habits over here. So there's room for each day. The weekend is stacked, as you can see. Here is the current week that I'm working on. It's not going great, just to let you know, but this is helpful to look at. So when it comes to the mood category, I am just kind of setting it up like this with different feelings. So happy, content in my feelings, frustrated, sad, angry, lazy, anxious, which it is election week in the US right now. So anxious has a check in every box. And then over here on the habits side, I've got vitamins and birth control, weighing, reading the daily stoic, tracking my sleep, on meal plan, and then strength workout. So I've also got my workouts on little Post-its so I can move them around wherever I want. But this is just a way for me to do a reset when I need it. So like after the holidays, or each holiday, I should say. So like after Thanksgiving, I'll do this. I'm not going to do it every week though, but this is just helpful to just kind of look at everything at a glance and then be able to reflect later on what's working, what's not, what can we do from here. The other thing when it comes to health stuff is I'm tracking my sleep. So I have an Apple Watch and it's helpful, obviously, in a lot of ways, but I've been wearing it at night and tracking my sleep because I've always been a terrible sleeper. I'm the lightest sleeper of all time. I have to use a sound machine. I have to have like blackout curtains. It's a whole thing. When I go on vacation, I get exhausted because I just can't sleep anywhere but my bed. It's bad. So I'm just trying to get some information about my sleep and how I can improve it. So what the Apple Watch tells me in the morning in my health app is how many times I've kind of woken up and been restless and what kind of sleep I've actually gotten that night. And then I can see trends over time, like over the week or the month, and see where am I, where's my average hours per night, and are the weekends better? Are the weekdays worse? Or vice versa? What are the trends? So that has been really helpful. And I'm actually realizing that I was getting super crappy sleep before I started tracking my sleep. And now I'm just being a little bit more intentional and doing things to improve my sleep, because sleep is super important to our health. I will say, if you are going to try to do this, you have to be really careful about charging. So when I get up in the morning, I charge it. And then before I go to bed, I charge it so that I always have enough charge during the day and overnight. So just something to keep in mind if you want to try that. So I don't really have anything in my random category except for one lonely little thing, but it is very special to me, and it is my tiered tray. I got a tiered tray last Christmas from my sister, and I have been updating it every season or every kind of holiday, and it's just really fun. It's a little project I can work on throughout the year. So I'm going to show you my Halloween / Thanksgiving one. I did a really cute theme, and I always get kind of inspiration from Instagram. I will just search hashtags on Instagram, and this one was so cute. I went with a black and white check themed, and actually that was the kind of inspiration for the rest of my fall decor too. I did a black and white buffalo check, and then I did accents of yellow and orange, and I think that worked out really well. I think it's so cute, and my tiered tray is just adorable, and I'm really excited to start to look for Christmas things. I don't know what my Christmas decor is going to look like this year. I need to dig everything out and just kind of look and see, and then choose my tiered tray stuff. But I usually get everything from Home Goods or TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby, or Michael's. Those are good places to look for tiered tray items, especially Hobby Lobby because they have a lot of like smaller things. But it's just a fun project to do throughout the year, and it just looks really cute on my Hoosier cabinet, and it's just adorable. So it brings me joy, and we all need as much joy as possible in 2020. So that is everything for my favorites. I hope that you guys enjoyed going through everything with me. This was a lot of stuff, but it's always fun to do these types of videos. And if you are interested in any of these items, I will leave them down in the description for you. I'll leave the whole list so you can just check out whatever you want. If it is affiliate link, I will mark it as such so you can choose to use it or not. But yeah, I love favorites videos, and I think you guys do too, because the summer one was just so fun, and I definitely, like I always say, I want to venture into more different kinds of videos, but this is definitely a fun one to always put together. So I hope that you guys have a great holiday season and a happy Thanksgiving if you're in America, and a Merry Christmas and all of the holidays in the winter. And I will see you in the next winter favorites. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye.